Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about the OPT and visa process after your LLM ends. I'll be talking about what it means to be on the OPT, how to apply, when to apply, and what are your options after OPT starts. Um, and if you want to stay back and work here as an international student, international graduate, what you should do. Now, if you're an international student finishing your LLM, you must have heard about OPT, H1B, and million other such acronyms. And I know this must feel overwhelming as to what to do about these options. So in this video, I'll break down as to when you need to apply, what you need to do, and what are your options after graduating. So now, what is OPT? OPT is optional practical training, which allows F1 students that who are on F1 visa, that is the student visa, to work here in the US for a certain amount of time after graduating. Now, for LLM graduates like us, the OPT period is only for 1 year. It's up to 12 months. So you can work on your OPT after graduating for about 12 months because because LLM is a non-STEM degree. For people who, so you must have heard a lot of your engineering friends, they would be staying here longer on OPT because for them, the OPT is for 3 years. Unfortunately, for LLMs, it's only for 12 months. And you don't need a job offer to apply for the OPT, but your work must be directly related to your field of study. So in our case, law. Now, when to apply for OPT? So you can apply as early as 90 days before you graduate, and you can also apply after maybe like 60 days after you graduate. But honestly, I would suggest that you apply much in advance before you graduate because I can't stress this enough. The processing time is long, 2-3 months, and delays are pretty common. So I know a friend who also got an RFE, which was request for evidence or something, regarding her degree. So you never know what problems might come up. So it's my suggestion that you apply early, and you can choose your own OPT start date, which can be up to 60 days after you graduate. Now, be strategic about this based on when you think you'll start working. Now, I'll give you an example. Now, for you have to be on your OPT if you do not have an H1B visa to start working. So, for example, I'm graduating in May and I already have a job offer, and they've told me to start on June 1st. So I need to make sure that I am on my OPT period and I have received my EAD. You'll get an EAD once the processing is done. So on June 1st, I have to be on my OPT. So it depends. Now, for example, if I don't have a job while I'm graduating in May, I don't have a job, and I do not think that I can get a job for another, I don't know, another month for sure, or another 2 months for sure. So then I can start my OPT maybe like on 15th June, 30th, June 30th. But just make sure you know what your plan is and start accordingly, because once you start your OPT, you only have about 3 months, 90 days to find a job. Otherwise, you have to go back to your home country. So be strategic about it. Talk to your counselors and know when you should start your OPT period depending on your job search. Now, regarding the waiting period, like I said, after applying, there's usually 2-3 months wait to get your EAD, that is the EAD card, that is the employment authorization document. You can't work until that card arrives and your chosen start date has uh, arrived. So now use that time. Now, for example, like the example I gave you, that your OPT starts later and you don't have a job yet, use that time to cold email, job hunt, and prepare. Now, now regarding the job search while on OPT, you can work full time or part time as long as it's related to the field of your study. In our case, related to law. And even an unpaid internship can count as long as they meet certain criteria. You can't be unemployed for more than 90 days total during your 12-month OPT period. So this is why it's important to track your time and document every work experience, even the short-term roles. Okay, so now what happens after the OPT period? So here is where it gets a little tricky. Once your 12 months are up, you need a new visa status. So how it works is, like, for example, like the example I gave you, I'm graduating in May, I already have a job. I start working in June. Now, in the March of next year, that's when your employer has to apply for your H-1B visa. And for example, now they have applied for H-1B visa, and then you get picked in the lottery. Like, it is actually, it's not really application for H-1B visa. They have to put your name in the lottery and you have to get picked in the lottery, and then they'll file your application. So that is one of the ways to stay back, because you need a change of visa once your OPT period ends. And there are other options other than H-1B sponsorship, because in H-1B sponsorship, the employer must apply on your behalf in March. Now, for LLMs, actually, one more trick is that, if just in case you've received, it is very difficult, but if you get a job before March and you have not graduated yet, for example, I'm graduating in May and I already have a job offer in February, you can request your employer to apply for H-1B in the next month, in March, so that way it gives you two opportunities to get H-1B visa that year and the next year while you are on OPT. So that is one of the tricks. But it's fine, even if now many people, many employers do not agree for H-1B visa. There are other options, but honestly, I find that more difficult. Like, you can be here on H-4 visa. So if you're married to someone on H-1B and they have received their I-140, so then you can become a dependent and get a work authorization and work on H-4 visa. And the good thing about H-4 visa, you're not restricted to work only in the field you've studied. You can do whatever you want, honestly. And then the next one is O-1 visa. Now that is a very niche, very rare, because you need to have some extraordinary ability to get O-1 visa. The next option, the fourth option, is that you go back to school. You enroll in another program to stay on F1 visa, because your F1 visa is for 5 years. Otherwise, of course, nothing works out, you go back home, which is not too bad, honestly. It depends. If you have a huge loan, that may be a problem. Okay, so now my personal experience, I'll be very quick. So in my case, of course, I was on OPT period after my LLM, and I found a job. I never had like a 90-day period where I was unemployed. And I was not married, so I could not be on H-4 visa. I eventually transitioned to H-1B after my OPT expired. Honestly, it wasn't very smooth, but I made it work somehow. And I want you to know there are paths forward even when it feels a little uncertain. So my final tips are apply for OPT early. track everything, job offers, roles, emails, because just in case you get an RFE, you should have everything documented, everything in your hand. And stay in touch with your DSO, which is the designated school official at your law school. Basically, they are counselors, and they are your best friends in this entire process. And of course, start job hunting much in advance before you graduate. Do not wait for your OPT to start to begin job hunting. As soon as, in my as per in my opinion, as soon as your law school starts, you need to start looking for a job if you're an LLM student. So visa stuff is very stressful, but you don't have to navigate all alone. If you have any questions, if you are thinking about any topic that I should make a video on, please comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.